and welcome to the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee meeting for August 24th, 2026. Can we please call the roll?
Cramp.
Here.
Peterson. Miller.
Here.
Lefebvre. Tolman.
Here.
Dang.
Here. And do we have a quorum?
We do.
Wonderful.
4.
And now Crystal will read the land acknowledgement.
We are gathered here on the lands that were originally home to the Menominee and Ho-Chunk nations. We honor the Menominee and Ho-Chunk communities and are grateful for their stewardship of the land and waters. We acknowledge these ancestral grounds as sacred and remember the complex history of settler colonialism on these lands and the effects that persist today. We commit to a restorative and healing relationship of the original inhabitants and our community.
Thank you. And now, Andy, can you read the mission statement?
Sure. The mission of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee is to create a more welcoming, connected, and equitable Oshkosh by consciously including the richness and complexities of marginalized voices in its planning and function.
Thank you. And now we need to approve the minutes from the June 22nd meeting. Are there any comments on the minutes or any other notes? Okay, we need a motion to approve.
So move.
And we need a second.
Seconded.
Wonderful. Let's call the roll.
Cramp.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Tolman.
Aye.
Dang.
Aye.
Are there any public statements or any public comment?
No, I have no one registered for public statement, nor do I have anyone registered for public comment.
Wonderful. And now we move on to our presentation from Mi Yang from the Hmong Service Center.
Hi.
Hello.
It's nice to be back here.
So nice to see you
I
again. We
know.
love having you.
It feels like the old days. Well, thank you for inviting me to come and speak on behalf of the Hmong Service Center, and especially the Hmong National Labor Day Festival this year. It's coming up on September 5th and 6th. It is probably one of the bigger two of our annual events. So we're looking forward for a lot of people to attend. Basically what we have this year is similar to last year, but one of the things about this year is that we have added a what we call a youth educational program. It's a soccer program for youngsters like around the age of 8 to like maybe 12, 13. Kind of like train them how to play soccer. So we have people who volunteers to do that. So that's something that we have added this year to our event, which I think it's going to be very, very nice to do that. We are having so many teams of performers on stage that my program there, my ceremony program, got cut in half because we had to give more time to our performers' competitions. Otherwise, they're going to go till midnight. So we are very, very excited about that. We are going to continue having volleyball tournaments too, as well as soccer's as usual. Our top spin traditional players, they will be coming as well. And and we have lots of vendors this year, a lot more than last year. So, I'm really looking forward to a big increase in this event, hopefully. Yeah, but other than that, we got most of our VIP invited. We got our general community invited. We try to do as much as we can. I also brought with me here some, there's 6 people here, so 2, 4, 6, yeah. You want to pass, these are invite packages in there.
Oh,
There'll be like invitation letter, instruction in there, a map, where to park, where to go, a parking permit, and 2 wristbands for you and your spouse or your friend or somebody who wants to come along with you. I know I had you invited.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. I look forward to seeing you there. And same thing to all of you. I really want to see you guys there. I think it's a great place to learn about each other, especially with a team like this, diversity.
Yeah, last year was so fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun. My kids had such a good time.
Yeah.
And I loved watching the performers. When we were coming in from the parking lot, I was like, what's going on in there? Like, everyone's like freaking out. Is something happening? And you would have thought that it was like the Beatles in the 60s. People were like losing their minds. It was wonderful. Everyone was so supportive and fun, and the costumes are like their outfit gorgeous. It was a really fun time. So thank you so much for inviting us again. I'm excited to go
again. We have
again.
hundreds of vendors who will be showcasing a lot of their stuff from overseas, things that you don't see around here. One of the good things about this year is that the Hmong Corvette Club is coming back.
Cool.
They're going to be driving their beautiful Corvettes out there. They're going to be parking on that street. I forgot what that street is called, but it's right next to the vendors for people to kind of take a look at their Corvettes, you know. And there's usually they're like a team of like 60, 70 people, drivers, you know, and if all of them came, I think we're going to have a beautiful event there, you know, with all their beautiful, expensive Corvettes parking next to our event. So, yeah, I am so excited. Yeah, I am so excited. Just can't be more happier.
Me, do you want to remind people where the event is and what they should do if they want to attend?
Yeah, the event is at the Winnebago County Community Park. It's right where that soccer complex shelter is, shelter number 5. I think they removed that number 5 recently, but yeah, it's kind of like right in the heart of the county park, so you can't miss it. And obviously, we have to collect admissions for general attendees, $8 per person per day. We open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, and then VIP are free, so I would love to see you guys there. So for VIP, you will be entering the event from Southgate entrance, which is by Snell Road. The general attendee will be coming from the north entrance from County Y, so we don't get, you know, conflict with each other. Yeah.
And obviously, it's a great event, no matter where you come from, who you are, what your background is. Obviously, it celebrates the heritage and culture of the Hmong community, but it's a wonderful event for everyone.
Yeah, two key things we're looking to celebrate this year is, well, first, it's going to be the first anniversary of the Hmong and the Secret War Memorial, which we installed last year. So we're going to celebrate that and remember and honor our veterans. And then the second thing we're going to focus on is winning the Governor's Tourism Award in March. So we are going, and because we won that award on behalf of the Hmong Service Center's Labor Day Festival, we are going to celebrate that at this event. So those are the two things that we are focusing on. And we are also going to butcher a cow. I know you haven't heard this, but I'll tell you about this. In the Hmong culture, when you have a really big and exceptional event, you butcher a cow and you share with the community. So I have ordered a cow with Mekong Butcher Shop up in, I believe, Mosinee. So they'll prepare everything and then they'll bring down the meat, and then I have a team who will cook those meat at the shelter for everybody. So stop by and have a taste of beef soup, beef lap. We're gonna have really nice salad, and then also boiled chicken. Boiled chicken is also something that's really special in the Hmong culture. When you truly care and respect somebody, you give them boiled chicken. So we're gonna have those food there, and rice, of course, and it's free for everybody. So, and it's gonna be at 11 o'clock. Okay. Our program will start at 9 o'clock. We cut the ribbon with local leaders and state leaders and the general community. And then we are going to have speakers on stage until 11 o'clock. And then from 11 to 12 or 1, kind of like 1 to 2 hours there, that's gonna be the lunch in the shelter. So even if you can't make it in the morning for the ribbon cutting or the speeches, be there for the lunch at 11 o'clock. We love to have everybody.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll just follow the smells like in a cartoon, like floating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so much to enjoy throughout the day. After the ceremony is over, feel free to walk around. We got soccer's going on right next to the entertainment tent. We got like over 40 teams of performers on stage. And we also have the pageant going on too at the same time. So it's gonna probably last till like 8 o'clock p.m. And then all over the next day again. And we have like I said, all kinds of food. So this year I have a popcorn maker. He's a Caucasian vendor, so I am so glad to have him with me. Last year and this year, well actually this year during Memorial and then Labor Day. So he's coming back. I'm going to ask people to support him because I want him to keep coming back. And then we have other vendors who sell all kinds of food too. So just, there's so much to walk around and just observe and then, do whatever you want to do.
It sounds like
come
come hungry. Come hungry. Yeah.
And I'm so sorry, I didn't plan to bring my flyer, but here's one. I'm going to leave it here in case you need to share with everybody. We decided to use our memorial as the picture on our flyer here. So
It's a beautiful memorial.
Yeah. So it's I've been taking care of the memorial all summer long, and it's got beautiful flowers on it.
Aw.
So I hope they last until Labor Day. Yeah. So any other questions?
I can't think. I'm just excited about all
Yeah.
the food and all the fun and.
Right.
Will you be coming, Michelle?
Yeah, no, well, unfortunately, I have a wedding on Saturday, so
Bring it along.
maybe Sunday.
Well, you can still come on Sunday.
Maybe Sunday.
This year I made the invitation for both days for VIP. It used to be like just on Saturday, but now I decided to do both days, and if you can't make it there on Saturday, just be there on Sunday. Just look around. It's free.
Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
everything that you do currently and that you've done on this committee, is just a great asset to this city. And
Yeah.
we really appreciate you coming and talking with us again
Thank you.
this year.
Thank you. And this event is sponsored by the Hmong Service Center. Our building is at 726 North Main Street. We got that building for like over 5 years now, so a lot of people don't know that we're the sponsor, but yeah, but it's a Hmong Service Center that sponsored both the Memorial and Labor Day festivals each year. So, and of course, any proceeds from those events go back to the community. We are all volunteer, no paid staff, so we're so glad to be on here. And thank you so much for inviting me tonight. If you have any questions, Michelle, you can always reach me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Go enjoy the beautiful weather outside.
Yeah.
So now we are going to discuss future DEI committee projects. So I thought we could get more stuff done if we each kind of found something that we want to focus on, and then we can kind of go and do our own research and kind of be out in the community a little bit and find out more information about our little topic and bring it back to discuss with the main group. So the things there's kind of two things that I wanted to focus on, but I gotta whittle it down. I want to really focus on language access for city buildings and city forms and stuff, because that is a DEI issue of if you can't read a form, you can't fill out the form. And a lot of the city forms are important, and maybe using Google Translate won't actually tell you what the form says if it's like legal language or whatever. So I personally want to focus on language access, and then at some point after that I would like to focus on food justice, but first I want to do language access. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to focus on, or just like mull it over?
I think this is the right conversation to have. Also.
Yeah.
Because I will need to think about it for a
Yeah.
second, but in this silence,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure we know the silence isn't because, I don't know.
The silence
But
is-
like, I think this is the right way to handle the conversation
Yeah.
of, it's so hard to be like, how do we move to what's next?
Yeah.
And, say, okay, let's find areas that we can go,
Mm-hmm.
do some research, do some little, like, whether
Like
it's
talk to
auditing
someone
things, talking
or,
to people,
like-
bringing back, yeah.
Because I was thinking of like going, asking a clerk of some kind, like, what are the top 5 forms that people fill out in the city?
Mhm.
Are they translated into other languages? Are there translators available? Like, those phone translators or whatever. And then see if we can get people in the community who speak those languages, like, natively to localize the forms with localized language. So
Yeah.
that's
I wonder if the Literacy Council already has some data on that.
probably, and that's why I'm going to reach
Yeah.
out to them and reach out to, get my finger in all the pies. So, yeah, that's the thing that I want to do, mostly because I'm currently learning Swahili, and it's awesome and I love it. And then I'm also trying to learn French to also speak with some, like, African populations. Guys, French is not for me. My brain is like, Spanish? Like, yeah, that one makes sense, but French pronunciation, I'm not having a good
Yeah.
time. So I've just been thinking about languages.
Yeah.
I'm learning Swahili so I can talk to my neighbors because they're native Swahili speakers, and I don't think the 7-year-old should have to translate for his mom all the time because that's not fair. So that's why I'm, like, in this space right now.
Mhm. That's good.
Yeah.
One area that I've talked about in the past, and I can do a little bit more digging on this, is just difficulty of it is it's hard to kind of measure. Is representation from people from different backgrounds.
Mhm.
We have a pretty diverse city, even as you were mentioning.
Yeah.
We have a diverse city of what languages people talk, but even where people where their families come from
Mhm.
and what sort of upbringings we have and whatnot. So I'd love to hear, like, from the community, how different people feel, how they are represented, how different demographics of the city feel they can access different things.
Mhm.
And so I think that also feeds into, I've mentioned before, like a pipeline.
Mhm.
Pipeline for everyone in the city, obviously, but then making sure that the pipeline is inclusive and equitable. So that way we do have representation
Mhm.
in places that are making decisions around the city. Again, I don't really know how to approach that.
Yeah, but that's
But I think that's
why-
important.
Yeah, that's why I think it's
Um,
also important that we can, like, go do our little researches on our own and kind of, like, deal with that. Not because obviously, as we're finding out right now in this conversation, it's like you can't figure it out on the fly, right?
Yep.
I think that's great. That's great. Yeah.
Do we, switching gears a little bit from that,
Uh-huh.
but similar to this topic, Michelle, do you know if the city does any sort of audits on, like, accessibility of buildings and stuff like? Do we have
Yes.
information like that? Okay. so-
Absolutely. We have a ADA facilities plan, and we work toward that plan every year. I am not the expert on the facilities plan, but we do have one. And I mean, I know there's been a lot of progress made, especially in the transit areas, right, where accessibility has been paramount.
Yeah.
But all of our buildings do have an ADA plan. We do have some limitations where some projects cost a lot of money. And we have some old buildings that cause challenges. But yeah, so that is an active plan. It is worked on every single year. There are ADA projects that go into the capital planning related to facilities.
Okay. And do we know, and again, like you said, maybe this is a question for someone else, how those are prioritized? Do we know?
I'm not entirely sure. The capital planning process, of course, occurs with council.
Right.
I do believe that our facilities planning group, try to prioritize based on, obviously, need, highest need, highest impact, and of course, cost is
Yeah.
always more, I'm gonna call it a limiting factor versus a prioritization. But I think the use, right, like the impact and use is how they try to prioritize.
Yeah.
So that's why transit, right,
Yeah.
where thousands of people are using that every, I'm going to say week or month. But that's why those are prioritized over the bathrooms.
Yeah,
Right.
or like a back stairway that
Yeah.
no one really
Yep.
uses.
No, that makes
or-
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if for one of our meetings at some point, if it would be, if we had space to bring in someone from facilities who oversees that, kind of give us
Uh-huh.
an overview on, I'd be interested in that.
I would be too. That's really interesting.
I actually think that would be a great idea if, in addition to bringing in community
Yes.
members, if we brought in folks from the city
Yeah.
in these different areas that we're wondering about.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's important for us to know, but it also, obviously, we have a constituency who
Yeah.
tunes in because
Yeah, it
people
would
say-
be genuinely helpful to be able to ask them questions directly instead
Yes.
of like forcing Michelle.
Right.
to find
Yep.
out all these
Michelle's
things 'cause
like,
she's
I-
already
I
busy.
know we have
Michelle's
a
not
thing.
the expert in everything in the
Yeah,
city.
you do
I
have
have
that.
a
Let me
working
get that
knowledge
to you.
usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that same vein of thing, I would love to hear like similarly from like the transit.
Yeah.
Too, like,
It'd be cool if we had someone from like each kind of department come in. Like it could be every other month or whatever until we get through the departments. I think that'd be really interesting.
yeah, because really every department impact or
Yeah.
touches D.
And we could even make
I
like a
could schedule
list.
HR first. No, I'm just kidding.
We could even make like a list of like the ones that we think are the most
Right.
important. I mean, not important, but like
Right.
the ones that have
Impactful
to do impactful with
or-
the most DEI
right.
connection.
And I think the ones we've had the most have been community developments to come and talk about housing. It's been a while. So I can tell you, I know none of these have
Yeah.
been in since you guys have been on board. We've had community development, economic development,
Oh, I
quite a
love
bit because they talk about how are we solving some of our housing problems and what are the programs that we offer to community members to help fix their homes or things like that.
Okay.
I can't say that we've had transit. We've had the library and the museum several times over the years because they're very community front focused.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we can definitely look at other areas.
That would be great.
As well.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, so if you guys have any recommendations,
I think like
I mean,
transit
I can put them.
facilities would
I
probably
can
be-
put them all on notice. They
Yeah.
were just gonna.
Yeah, well, and that might be worthwhile too. Even just like telling people like, hey, DI Commission is interested in hearing. There might
Yeah.
be some people who are like, I'm
Like, yeah,
ready
sure.
to,
Yeah, I would
like,
love
I
to
have
do
something.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can bring that up at one of our leadership meetings
That'd
in
be
the near
great.
future.
Awesome.
We try to get together a couple times a month.
Okay.
So, something that I mentioned a while back and still am interested in coming back to would be finding ways of collecting voices. I know there is a survey that goes out, but I'm not even sure that I filled it
I
out.
have never filled one out.
Yeah, because I don't even know that I track that it's coming in, and so I have a feeling that means that there are others in that same
Yeah.
boat, and so we probably are not collecting as many voices as we could. So just thinking more about how we might do that more effectively. I'm also kind of watching as Oshkosh home values and just the economy shifts. Different neighborhoods that I'm in across, particularly the north side more so, but just wondering about the housing realities of different people, what that feels like, what considerations are being made, and that again would go to a city expert, of course. So I'm interested in learning more about that, but then maybe also thinking about what kinds of things we can borrow from other communities. I know, Andy, you did a tremendous amount of work looking at different ways that other communities might be handling things or different areas we could look at. So I feel like that might be a good document to dive into, to think about experts we'd like to have in so we can learn more about what we are doing. But those were kind of the two things that I'd been thinking about.
Those sound great. Yeah.
One question I have as we talk about these things, 'cause even as you brought up, Michelle, like in the past, we have had people come in and talk, but obviously there's turnover in boards and commissions, stuff like that. And so I don't know how we can kind of solve that, but I would be interested in having that conversation of saying, how can we make sure as we explore these things, or as people come and report, that we have some sort of, I mean, obviously everything is logged like
In the minutes.
in the minutes, but that's hard to navigate through.
Right, right.
And so.
And there's all sorts of videos out there.
Yes.
There are. That would take a long time though. So
I
like
know,
creating an archive beyond
Yeah,
just
or-
the videos that are there, but
And even
I understand.
we've talked about before, like dashboards on the
Yeah.
website, and that's obviously a much bigger project. But I wonder if through this, we could find out at least some sort of proposal, say like, hey, this would be beneficial to track where we are with these things. I don't know what that would look like. We'd have to have that conversation. So as we are figuring these things out, we say, let's log in here. Here's the current initiatives these departments are working on. Some of that might already exist. It was probably just not in a central location.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that would also be good because then people if people are coming and going from the committee, then we
Yes,
have like.
exactly.
Yeah.
sort of an orientation or
Oh, I
like
like
here's
that.
some things you could take a look at that would give you an idea of what
Yeah.
we have done or what the city does.
Right. There is a strategic plan, which includes a lot of city initiatives.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, there is so much information. It's just how to get at it sometimes, I think, is
Exactly.
the difficult part.
Yes, and that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Like, I know like that information's out there, and so I think just talking through how do we make sure, and some of these things we're talking about won't make it into the strategic plan, and that's another
Right.
area I'm thinking of. Like, as we learn some of these things that again don't necessarily make it into the strategic plan, but maybe in 4 years when someone else is on the board and saying, hey, what are people saying about different language access?
then
to
they'll
go
be
back
able
and say,
to-
oh, Amanda 4 years ago looked at this. This is what she found out. This is what we've done since then. Even if it doesn't make it into the strategic plan, to be able to have
I like that, yeah.
information. But I don't know how to solve that.
No.
I know.
But that's why we're like exploding out so
Yes.
that we can like, when you're cleaning a room, you have to make it messier before it's clean again.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Did you have any ideas for what you want to?
Yeah, I'd be interested in just kind of understanding what assets and resources we have in our community. So maybe like an asset and resource like mapping. And then I just want to know like how does our community actually access these resources? How are people using it? What barriers are there?
That is wonderful. I love this.
And actually that's the kind, like, I like your vision for the kind of thing that I'm wondering about related to community stories, because I feel like there are all these people that maybe we don't know what their real lives are like, right? So we have services and so on. Where are those gaps, or what are tremendous resources that we don't even realize that people are taking advantage of? Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's great. I think if we each take the next couple weeks to like really dig down and talk to people around town, I'm going to talk to the Literacy Council and just kind of do little mini interviews or whatever. And then we can come back and share what we've found. And then I think we can actually like get some momentum and some stuff done. So and then we'll like know what we're working with, which is the most important thing.
And it hopefully goes without saying, but maybe it does need to be said. For anyone who's watching, who wants to help, I'm sure any of us would love the extra
Yeah.
help. And there's probably anyone who's watching who may have some ideas on the things we talked about, or things we didn't talk about.
Yeah,
so we need to
exactly.
prioritize this. Like, I am always looking for more people to talk to and whatnot, and that can be hard sometimes. And so I just want to make sure people know, like, we want to talk to you,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we want people to help us with these. We probably won't be able to do this on our own.
Yes.
No, that's why we're a committee. That's why we're like reaching out to people, because I don't know everything.
Right, and for anybody who is listening, all of your emails are listed on the website under boards and commissions. So if you want to reach out to any specific member, you're able to do that. Also, any general DEI committee emails come to me, and I can certainly distribute those. If anybody does want to give an idea or reach out to any of you, again, the general DEI emails will come to me. But all of your emails are also out there, especially if somebody's listening to an area that you might specifically feel passion around that wants to connect with you. So all of those are there for the public as well.
Yeah. And I'd especially be interested if there's any areas that we're missing that people are like,
Yes.
hey,
Yeah.
we're on focusing on this.
Right.
And then I want to clarify to Michelle. So at the beginning, when we have time for public comment, people don't need to register for that. They can show up if they want to. I know
They
it doesn't
can.
really happen too often in a commission.
We ask them
literally
to
never
register, but
happens.
they
It's
don't
helpful,
have to.
yes.
Yeah.
Right, we ask them to just email us by 4:30 that day, but if they don't, we're certainly still going to
Yeah.
take people's statements and comments if they show up.
Yeah.
Because, if there were 40 people in the audience, I wouldn't necessarily
That'd be
know
hard.
who wanted to speak.
Yeah.
But generally, if someone shows up, I normally ask them if they wanted to speak or if they
Yeah.
were just here to watch.
So people know that they can come
Yep.
and speak. And then my other question, actually, I don't know on this, is can people give you comments even if they can't make it? So say like, I want, so you talked about the general email. Is there a way to say, here's a public comment I want to give, I just can't make it to the meeting?
Yeah, we can distribute those to all members consistently. We just can't be doing a bunch of stuff outside of the structure.
Right.
So yes.
So
if
the
somebody
general
has
email would be that.
Right.
Okay.
If somebody wants to send me a general email, I can send it to the entire committee prior to the meeting, and we can discuss it at the meeting. Or, of course, I can certainly bring those to the meeting to discuss as well. Let's just say I didn't have time to
Yeah.
communicate to somebody,
Yeah.
to anyone, so.
That's good.
Also, regarding assets and resources in the community, one of the reasons we have speakers come is to talk about the assets and resources of the community. What I could do, since this is an area you're interested in, I can send the committee the list of everyone we've had come and speak over the last how many years.
Yes.
I think I have a list. Because that would, the literacy, group is
Yeah.
on there. Like I think a lot of the community resources that are, not city entities themselves, but a lot of those resources we've had come in. Again, because we're trying to get communications out to people about all the resources in the community. That is one of the, I would say, primary or a really important part of this committee is to be able to help the community get them information, so if they need resources, they know where to find them. So, and a lot of them aren't city resources necessarily, but there are a lot of partners. There's so many great nonprofits that work in our city and provide incredible resources to our community.
Yeah. And then I know a couple meetings ago we talked about this as well. I think it's worth saying. I have talked to some speakers before who say, hey, I love coming there, but it's just so hard to give an update that fast. And they said, we'd love if some of you were to come to our spaces. So again, if anyone's watching who represents those groups, I'll speak for myself, but I'm guessing other people feel similar. Like if we get invites, we would love to come there. And then even as you were talking to people, like if there are opportunities, because I think we can learn a little bit more instead of a 20-minute update or something like that, where if someone's like, hey, come, tour, and we'll show you what we do.
Yeah.
And then we could even come back and report and invite that person.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah.
So obviously that's a lot harder because then you need to find times that we can go there and whatnot. But
Right.
yeah.
And depending on how many people wanted to go, if somebody wants to go, that's great. But if we were actually to schedule a group from this committee, I just have to notice it.
Yeah, that'd have to be a
That's what's
notice. Yeah, that's a good
happening,
point. Yep.
that you were touring the public library or you're touring the food pantry or whatever.
Yeah. Do you know what that like if one of us was going, it probably wouldn't be it, but is there like a number, like once there's like 2 or 3 people, it's like, okay, now there needs to be a city public notice?
It would, if there's a quorum, which is 3,
Three. So
there
if there's
would
3 people,
definitely
okay.
need to be a notice. And generally, we just notice that multiple members are planning to attend, but no business
Right,
will be
exactly.
discussed.
Yeah.
But we still notice it so that, just in case anybody wants to know that multiple members are gonna be there. We do that with council, you know, we do that with Police and Fire Commission when they're going to a celebration, you know, in police or fire. We
Yeah.
notice it that they're gonna be there, but that no committee actions will be taken. So if you guys do wanna do that, please let
Yes.
me know.
We will keep you in the loop.
Yep.
Because that's a really good idea. I like that.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of area partners would love to have us come visit them.
Yeah,
So.
I was just at the Oshkosh Area Community Pantry this morning because my husband and I run the school garden at Reed Elementary, and we harvested our potatoes this weekend, and so we donated 30 pounds of potatoes to the food pantry and 6 pounds of tomatoes. There will be so many more tomatoes, but that's just, now we're getting to the point where, like, I'm looking at the tomato basket in our kitchen, and it's like starting to get, like, in like 2 weeks it's going to be all of them at once, of course. But yeah, there's so many different amazing places in this community that we can go out and be seen in it, and you can learn more in someone else's environment than you can if they come to yours. So that's a great idea. I'm excited about that. Anyone else want to say anything about that? Committee member roundtable. Are there any DEI related activities and events? I, of course, did not look anything up because of the kind of day I'm having. But we know September 5th and 6th is the Hmong Service Center Labor Day Festival at Winnebago County Community Park. Please come at 11 a.m. on Saturday if you want to eat some delicious food. If you wanted to go earlier, then you'll hear speakers and a ribbon cutting. And I am excited, and I will be there with bells on because last year was so much fun. Anyone have any other events or exciting things?
She got out a sheet,
I
so
do.
I'm just kind of looking over here.
I love this. I love this
Yeah,
chart.
Just the back to school events for the Oshkosh Area School District. So today, tomorrow, and Wednesday are all the open houses across our district. On the 26th, so that's Wednesday, is when we have, I think, 11 happening all at once.
Yep.
I don't want to read through this whole list,
No.
but I think if you just go on the district site, that should be listed on there too. Yeah.
Yeah, and just as a note, now that back to school is happening, just be really careful when you're driving around, especially just because kids like to run, and we don't need any more kids getting hit by cars. Thank you very much. Any other events or fun things? I feel like September, it's like...
So I'm scrambling to try to find the exact date and time here, but Micah Tradle is going to be speaking at the Winnebago Area Literacy Council's monthly meeting. It's like whatever that Tuesday or Thursday is, in the middle of September, and I'll find it and we can add it to the minutes. But he's hoping to have a conversation just around community and actually language.
Oh,
so
great.
It'd be a good, yeah.
Yeah.
And so shout out to West grads. So he's recent grad and amazing. He's an amazing person.
Cool.
So starting at UW Oshkosh this fall.
Nice. So
Yeah.
where is it though? Do you know?
So it's at the
At the
Winnebago.
Literacy Center?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I am struggling to find. I am not really finding my way around social media at this time.
Yeah.
Apparently, like I can't find it back.
We can find it and then we can put it on the
Thank you.
minutes or on the webpage.
I did not come with a list, so
I usually do, and today's not happening. Anything else? Michelle, do you have anything? Because sometimes
I don't actually. I
Well-
also did not have a chance to look.
It's a very
Well,
Monday,
today.
you know?
got it. Tuesday,
Ooh.
September 15th at 4:30. It's called Beyond the Divide: Navigating, Indenting Culture, and the Tension Between African and African American Communities.
Cool.
And they want RSVPs for that?
I don't think you have to RSVP.
Oh.
I think you can come in. So it's their immigration learning circle. So.
Cool. That sounds awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Are there any future, you said there's something about future items on the council agenda?
Yes, we did have a resignation from the committee, so there is now an opening. If anyone is interested, they certainly can apply online on the city website for not just this board or commission, but all of the boards and commissions. There are often vacancies that I know go out in our newsletter as well. But due to that, we are going to, next month, have an election for vice chair. So just so you know ahead of time, that'll be on next month's schedule.
Okay.
And whether or not we have a new person by then, I don't know.
Okay.
So.
And then for future agenda items, so Father Cards will be here in September, and then NAMI Oshkosh will be here in October. So that will be great. I don't think
we have November planned. We do not.
So isn't November usually one that maybe we skip sometimes because it's usually Thanksgiving?
Normally just December.
December, okay.
November usually is okay.
Okay.
But if for any reason any members know that they're definitely not going to be here for November, feel free to let me know.
Yes.
And then as things get closer, we can make decisions on whether there is a November meeting. And generally, we have not had the December meeting because it tends to fall right in that Christmas week. And that's usually not a good time for anyone. And often our council does not have that second December meeting either. Actually, I think that might have been determined ahead of time by council this year, even though in the past they've decided closer to the date. But that's generally the plan.
Okay. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay. Do we need a second for that? Does someone want to do a second?
I will second.
Hooray.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Bye, everyone.